when I see someone, like if you give someone a piece of advice and you knew it helped them flourish in life, just like you just made a few men and multimillionaires today. On Friday. I just watched, and you've done it before, but I just heard the stories today, which I thought
you got to meet them.
It was pretty cool. And I got the information to talk to them. So relationships hopefully could be born from that. I'm grateful for that. And that's why you come here really quick. Let me slide that in. That's why you come to these things. That's why you put yourself out there. That's why you should invest in yourself and come meet Lance Bachmann. And because who knows where it might lead.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Service Titan and Rilla, our technology of choice to helping us scale and grow our business and making sure all of our viewers have the technology to scale their business so when they want to sell it, they're able to. Welcome to the Roofing CEO Playbook podcast. Build it to sell it. We're here to cut through the noise, all the rhetoric, to show you how to build your roofing business, make it profitable, where you make a boat ton of money, and the cherry on top, when you're ready to sell, you can sell to a private equity firm and change your family's life. I'm sitting here at Regan Weiss. Actually just flew in from Florida this morning. Iced bath, steam room, spent the day together. He's actually a fractional CMO, owns his own construction company, also builds houses. Flew up, spent the day. We're shooting a podcast now to explain to you what Regan does, how he impacts his businesses, how he helps them grow. And really, it's fascinating because we met through mutual people.
Yes.
And, he said to me this morning, again, you're hard to get to. And I knew you through Tommy. And once you said Tommy and Michael, I obviously responded then. And you were like, I'm just going to come up and meet you. And I was like, okay. And I told you this morning, you're 1 out of 100 because people say it all the time. And I just said, here's Julisse. She'll get you scheduled. Yeah. And if you show up, you show up. And this morning at 7:30, you were there.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about relationships. And I've been listening to you throughout the course of the day. First and foremost, I like to start any podcast or anytime I'm on stage or anywhere with gratitude. Thank you, because you allowed it. You allowed me to be here. You allowed me to come here. You allowed me to meet your staff, your team, and it's friggin' impressive. No BS. It's
You've
impressive.
Been mirroring me all day.
I've been mirroring the guy all day, and I own multiple businesses, and I am very impressed with your leadership. I thought I was brash, and I really appreciate your brashness with your team. I appreciate your method of attack, if you will. And you call it out right there in the moment. I watched you in the morning, a couple of morning meetings, private meetings, which I'm grateful to be in, by the way. You literally said, or someone was trying to kind of blow off the conversation, or I'll get back to you in a little bit. And you're like, no, I need that answer right now. And you literally, the answer was right there in that minute. And like, well, if I have to give you the answer now, it's no. But who knows what the answer would have transpired to be later, because it would have manipulated it. But dude, really, it's impressive to see. And I just wanted to give you that shout out, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So let's talk about you. You're a fractional CMO. You were showing me houses you build barnuminiums.
Yeah.
I know you have your whole drone thing going on, but I think that doesn't apply to this. But we talk about it.
That's just business in general, but yeah.
But you love marketing. That's what you kept talking to me about. Why do you love marketing so much? And you have your own pretty cool thing, actually, network on Facebook where you're trying to actually help people through marketing. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's called The Hub. It's helping unify business, and it was born during COVID. And I recognized during that time, you look at all those local Facebook groups, right? The chat moms, this one, that one. It's all, why is the helicopter flying over my area? Some bull crap. I said, we need something that specifically just talks about business and helps unify a local business. How can we do that? How can we get people and businesses to collaborate? So I saw a void, and I put a post out there one day, and I said, hey guys, I said, if I was going to hold a meeting, what business owners would be interested? In the first meeting, 30 people showed up, 30 business owners, which to me, I was impressed. I had 30 business owners show up.
30 people that want to win.
And at the end of the day, it's been almost 5 years. July 18th will be 5 years. Thank you. And people have come and gone, and the winner stayed. And I will tell you, it's been nothing but flourishing. We now have 55,000 members in that group. We actually created a Hub Life Charities from it. So a 501c3 was born. And what we do is we help small businesses and we help the community. We put on Halloween events. We put on Christmas events. I mean, Lance, it's everywhere because you have to be community oriented. And I think that's the number one. So yeah, it's cool to have all these companies, but without my community involvement, they wouldn't be successful.
So you're a grassroots marketer then. So like that's, I mean, I know you know other parts
100%.
of marketing, but that's grassroots. That's the new grassroots. Let me get in on a Facebook group, be the leader, no problem. Elevate people, make it better, impact the local community, become the brand in the community people trust, and if they like you, they're going to do business with you.
That's right. It's just like you said in your prior podcast I was graciously got to witness, that it's people will work with like, know, and trust. And that's true. But here's the deal, man. Winners want to win, and business owners will want to attach themselves to success no matter what. I've watched your phone go off all day long about people that just want to gravitate to you because you're a winner in life, and they gravitate to you. Lance, I want to partner with you. Lance, I want to do this. Lance, how can we do this? You're inundated all day. You're on top of your meetings. There's no way in hell you're going to be able to pick up these text messages and calls all day long. That's why your team does. But I will tell you, that's why I have gratitude, because I was able to connect with you. But if I wasn't able to connect with you without those relationships, if I didn't go, and I will tell you this is how it all started. We'll go back into grassroots. But if I didn't make a video comment 2 years ago, so there was an organization out there, some woman made a comment, and I made a comment. So I made a video comment. And a lot of people forget about that. When you go into comments, all you see is a text, or you see a business owner try to put in their business card. Make the video comment. Put yourself out there, just like you video call me and record and say something to me. Same thing. Make the video comment. Well, someone saw that, and then they're like, well, who are you? I'm like, well, who the hell are you? And then it gravitated, and then I met these titans down in Tampa, and they invited me on their speaking circuit, and that's where I met Tommy Mello, and that's where I met Sean Crane. And because of those relationships, I'm able to meet you. So yeah, it's showing up is important as well as grassroots. Oh yeah, I mean, we were funny. We were talking this morning at 8 o'clock or 8:30 after we had done, and you're like, I called. I had to apologize because my phone's on do not disturb all day. I know. It's aggravating. Trust me.
Like my wife, my kids.
I'm like, yo.
Well, it's not to be rude to people, but there's probably 800 to 1,000 text messages a day. Yeah, I get it. And I don't know how many DMs. Neri, how many DMs come through social media today? 20 to 30 DMs just on social media on each platform. People that want to just connect with you. And, so I can't even get to it. And it's rude because I got to be in the moment here. Right. But my son and my wife can get to me. My wife and my sons can get to me. I need that bat phone. I need that number. They're down. No, they get to me I know. But, people don't understand. As soon as you told me you knew Tommy Mello and you were friends with him and Sean Michael Crane, I immediately responded. Of course. And, one of them put you on a group text with me. Sean. And of course, out of respect for Sean, who I have the utmost respect for, I'm going to respond. Love me some Sean. If he's vouching for who you are, I'm going to take him at face value. Right. But what I found most impressive about you was you're a high energy guy. You're good looking. You're well built. Thanks, brother. You have a lot going for you. Is that you have no ego. That you were willing to say, "Hey, dude, listen. Let me just come up there for a day, meet you, see if I can add value, see what I can do for you, learn from you." And just spend a day with you. I think that's so important. Listen, brother, just like you, and I listened to you talk a little bit today, there was some time ago, just like you, we had that ego. And if we didn't let that go, there would be no growth. And if we walk around with that bravado and there's nothing wrong with walking around with bravado too, because I still think people should have that Superman syndrome. There's an S on your chest and you walk in, you're a formidable force. But at the end of the day, once you have that ego and you don't think you can learn anymore, you're dead in the water. So I took my ego and tucked it a long time ago and recognized my shortcomings as well. And when I started expressing my shortcomings out loud, that's when my business and that's when my brand started growing. Crazy. Listen, people say I'm arrogant and I start laughing and I'm like, I'm not arrogant. I'm confident. No, I don't see that at all. Like, I'm confident because I win. Like, I'm going to, you heard me talking to people. Yep. And I just said, they said, well, is that the goal? And I said, that's not the goal. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. Like, we don't miss numbers. We don't miss targets. Like, never have, never will. Yep. And you saw my tone changed at that moment. Like, and that's what people don't understand is the difference between being arrogant. Arrogant is, I never did shit. I tell people I'm going to bring you 10x value. You don't bring no X value. Right. Confidence is, I've done this. I've done it over and over again. And I know. It's proven results. Correct. So how the hell do you not walk around with confidence? And I just think, and I think there's a big difference. Let's talk about why marketing is so important to businesses. And don't give me the old cliche rules because everyone says that marketing is important, but yet no one markets. It's amazing to me. No one does marketing. So they say they do, but they don't. A couple of things. And
we still obviously have to learn one another and build this relationship. But some of the things that you say, and we're very similar in age. I'm right behind you by 4 years. By the way, happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you.
Happy birthday tomorrow. But you're a marketing company first. And I've always said that 100% since day one. You know, you might be a roofing company, you might be a contracting company, you might be, you know, a landscaping company. That's your hobby. You market that. Market your hobby. Market what you love. Market what you're passionate about. So marketing's always number one, first and foremost. I don't understand. This is my thing, brother. I don't understand how these businesses, whether you're in roofing or any industry, that you're not obsessive about your business every single day. I don't understand how you're not waking up recognizing this is what pays the mortgage, this is what puts food on the table, this is what pays my friggin' electric bill, this is what pays my propane bill, whatever the case is, this is what gets my kids into college and driving your G-Wagon, and yet you're not obsessive enough to wake up every day and do a friggin' video content about yourself. I'm pissing me off, man, thinking about it. It drives me nuts.
Well, it's funny because people say they want to and they don't, you know, and there's a lot of bullshit artists out there. There's a lot of guys that say they want to do things, and girls, and actions speak louder than words. Mm-hmm. And marketing is real simple. And I'm going to tell you a true story and tell me what you think about this.
Yeah.
And this is where, you know, people have just lost their freaking marbles. I had a friend of mine. He owned a business for years, and he probably still owns the business. He's never once asked me to look at his P&L. Never once asked me to look at his marketing account.
Right.
Never asked me to look at any of his stuff to help him. This is a friend of mine, guy I know well.
Right.
He's asked me probably in the last 3-4 years now I've known him to check out his Tinder account 10 times, 15 times, look at his profile, and look at the girl. And I'm fucking laughing. I'm like,
what's the significance?
You put more energy into your Tinder account.
Right.
And the marketing there, because that is marketing. You're marketing yourself on Tinder. Like people are like, I'm not marketing. No, you're selling yourself when you're putting yourself in a bikini
100%.
on Instagram
100%.
or Grindr, whatever. I think the hot one now is Grindr, right? Is Grindr? That's the hot one.
I don't know. I would never know that.
I think the hot one's like Grindr, whatever it is.
Yeah.
No.
He said that.
Or whatever.
Whatever.
So Tinder's the one. Tinder's
yeah.
Okay, so, but that's marketing, right, guys? You're marketing yourself on those apps to meet someone, right? Right? You're trying to get someone, right? But they don't realize that's what they're doing. They just think they're filling out a profile and they're going to find fucking love. You're probably not going to find love. What you're going to find is someone that looks good if you look good, someone that looks like shit if you look like shit. I mean,
or maybe not, because the majority of the time, the photos that they put out there aren't even themselves. And that's something we want to talk about. And I want your opinion on that, is marketing with transparency. Because how many people put on that facade that, like I said, bravado, it's really not even them.
Well, I mean, so you asked me today about speaking. He's like, why are you speaking? I said, I really don't even it's not even these guys make me do it.
Right.
And I'm just too much of a straight shooter, right? I think you see my personality. I think you've been with me now for 4 or 5 hours, a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And my personality hasn't changed.
Hasn't
it
shifted
is
one bit.
what it is.
No.
And I am who I am.
I appreciate that about you.
And, what made me get into it and really say I'm going to go do these partnerships and speak is I got tired of hearing people that didn't know what the hell they were doing. Mm-hmm. All the bad advice. I see the people on social media.
Yeah.
And I see the people paying these coaches that don't have a clue. I don't have a coaching group, so I have no dog in the fight. People ask me to mentor them. I'll never take a nickel because it's not what I want to do.
Gotcha.
But they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Mm-hmm. And they're paying people that never had success.
An exorbitant amount of money as well.
They never, and so for me, I look at, and that's what and the speaking was even worse. I remember I was at IRE, and I always say there was just a bunch of people, people were there and they're paying for this show, and that's what it is, and you're getting all the wrong advice.
Yeah.
And that's why if you looked at my conference when I did it, I only brought winners in. Mm-hmm. My whole lineup, except for a few people that were grandfathered in, were all winners. People that 100%. I knew were winners. They understood it. They were winners, and they were very transparent about who they were.
100%.
I think when you say marketing with transparency, I think you got to be very transparent. I'm a very transparent guy. Mm-hmm. I tell people about my childhood. The best thing I ever did was, and you don't know this about me, was I told people on all these podcasts, and every time I filled out anything, that I was a convicted felon from 1992. Right? You think about that. 1992. It's 32 years, 33 years ago, right?
I was in 7th grade.
I know, but think about that, right? But I always checked the mark.
You were young. You were a kid then.
I was 18 years old, but I was still an adult.
Right,
but wait, a fight I was in a fist fight with my two brothers who were also convicted felons for the same exact thing.
Wow.
30 years later, my brothers decide to betray me. Like, betray me, the ultimate betrayal. They write letters, 18-page letters, stuff it, send it out to the community. They were so jealous of my success.
Wow.
So jealous. And, like, they thought they were going to have this big shock moment with this 18-page letter. And every organization was like, we fucking knew this. Yeah. Like, the guy's been on 100 podcasts. He's never denied it. Like, so my life, it was like almost like they did me the biggest favor. They showed me their true colors. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And you put it out there for the world, because I do believe people will judge you how you market in transparency. 100%. I never claimed to be this ravaging good guy. Like, I think, the reason why my wife stayed with me, I told everyone before I got married, I cheated on my wife multiple times, and she forgave me. So, like, anyone that had that card to hold to try and blow my, which people have, they DM'd my wife.
I'm sure.
And my wife's like, I know what the fuck I married.
So, do you remember the movie Clear and Present Danger with Harrison Ford? Long time. It was a cool movie.
Good movie.
Good movie. I think Jack Ryan, whatever. So anyway, he comes in as like an analyst or whatever. Long story short, I hope maybe you guys can find the clip and put it in because it's pretty cool. So he comes in, he's talking to the president, and James Earl Jones is in there, and they're like in this mastermind of how everyone's like, no, you gotta deny. You never knew the guy. You never knew the guy. And Harrison Ford. And I was a kid when I watched this. It was so impactful that I remembered it for I used it throughout life. And Harrison Ford, muffles, and the president says, well, what, you think it should be something different? He goes, no, absolutely. I think you should tell them you were friends. In fact, I think you should tell them that you were great friends. Give them nowhere to go. Give the press nowhere to go. Mm-hmm. I swear to God, like, I remember that as a kid, and I thought that my entire life, I was like, you know what? That's just who I'm going to be. And just transparent. That's the way it is. It's truth, whether you like it or not.
Once you put it out there.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah.
I mean, like.
I love it. That's
so,
great.
I mean, and that's when you talk about marketing for businesses. I see people, your question was why are most people not successful? Yeah. Like, I think more people put time into shit. It's called busy work. Yeah. I'd rather go to what I gravitate to than the things that make sense. And if you're not a marketing company, you have no company.
There you go. 100%.
So my next question for you, let's follow up on this.
Yeah.
You're in construction. Mm-hmm. You like home services. You build houses. Mm-hmm. Are you ever going to get into maybe roofing, or are you just going to stick with building houses? Or are you ever going to get into HVAC, plumbing, or like what's... Or are you just gonna? I know you have an agency now. I think it's kind of a smaller one, right? Kind of. Yeah. What's next? Where's your vision? What's your goal?
So at 46 years old, I realize what I'm good at. I know where my shortcomings are as well, and I do know my passion, just like you, is helping other people. I really do like lifting other people. I do like lifting and watching small businesses grow. I don't know if it's maybe I'm off a little bit. It's just something that drives me. When I see someone, like if you give someone a piece of advice and you knew it helped them flourish in life, just like you just made a few men and multimillionaires today. On Friday. I just watched, and you've done it before, but I just heard the stories today, which I thought
you got to meet them.
It was pretty cool. And I got the information to talk to them. So relationships hopefully could be born from that. And I'm grateful for that. And that's why you come here really quick. Let me slide that in. That's why you come to these things. That's why you put yourself out there. That's why you should invest in yourself and come meet Lance Bachmann. And because who knows where it might lead. But to go back to that story, where was I going? ADD kicked in. Hold on, guys. What did I say?
I've been there.
ADD kicked in.
About what you're going to do next with roofing,
next.
helping
right.
people.
So helping people is where it's at. So I created in our local town, which you referred to briefly, was called the Hub, Helping Unify Business.
That's in Tampa, right?
That's in Tampa, Florida. And I'll get you the more information. Like, we would love to scale that. But at the end of the day, you picture Angie's List. You go to Angie's List right now, brother, and you go and you say, closest whatever roofer near me, right? And whatever roofer's paying the most, whether they're certified or not, a good company or not, is getting highly ranked up there because Angie's List is bullshit. It's not a true. I don't know if you can cut that out or not.
Well, clip that because they're a good partner to us.
Okay.
And we get the majority. You don't get to clip it. You don't have to clip it. This is why. Because at first I said that, but no. Because, see, I have a difference of opinion on that. And
I want to hear it.
That's not true. Not the highest paid person gets that.
I want to hear it. Okay.
But I built my businesses across the country off of Angie's List.
Okay.
And this is my thing, right? Angie's does a criminal background check, and that's what they do. That's what they say they do. And they do. So they live up their pledge.
They do that.
There's problems in businesses, like yellowpages.com. Mm-hmm. Google does the same thing. So what makes Angie any different than Google than Facebook?
You're right. Okay. And I can talk about
you're right. Pay to play.
Correct.
Right?
You're right.
For me, I just have a difference of opinion. Like, Angie, Home Advisors, Facebook, Google, Bing, Yahoo.
Would you say they're all the same?
Yes. I believe you.
And there you go.
But I think people don't care. I think people want to have a place where they can go and trust, get direct, quick information.
But like I said, whether you use this or not later on the road.
No, we're going to use it.
Why trust? If they're all the same, why trust them? Just because of the background check?
Well, the background check, but not even that. But it's your job to get through the door, right?
Right.
It's the homeowner's job to do. Listen, if I'm a homeowner, you're watching this, and I'm just going to say this, right? And I'm going to call it like find out you're a dipshit 101, right? Like you do a company name, Google search.
Right.
Then you Google the person that's sitting in your house.
Right.
If the company comes back with 200, 300 plus 5-star reviews,
right,
they're probably somewhat legit. You would agree to that,
100%.
right?
100%.
They have a real website with a real office address on it, not a bullshit office
PO
address.
box,
right?
whatever, right.
You take the office address, you drop it into Google Earth, and you see is it someone's home.
Yep.
And some of your best businesses, smaller ones, could be out of someone's home. There's no issue. But now you see a real office.
Right.
Probably somewhat legit, right?
100%.
Then you just go type in this real fast. You go right to the Better BBB and see what their BBB rating is.
Oh, yep.
I mean, that's 3 quick things. Then you go right to Facebook, to their Facebook page.
You're a man of due diligence and smart man. The majority of society is not, and they're lazy.
I know. Well, I'm going to tell you this. It's not my job to save the world. My job is to save the people that want to be saved.
I love it.
Remember that. My job is my job is to save who wants to be saved. I can't save the world.
Yep.
And if you want to be, after someone gives you advice, think about this. You're a successful guy. How many people have you given the golden nugget to?
They don't do shit with it.
So what the fuck do I care about you for?
Okay. I understood.
The only ones I fight with about doing what I asked, there's only 4 people in my life now I fight with.
Yeah.
And you saw me this morning how you actually asked me. You're one of the first few people I ever, I swear to God, and it had such impact on me. And you don't know this? You're the first person that ever showed up to my house and just asked me, are you okay? Are you okay personally? I was like, I don't even fucking know this guy. And you could tell something's off. And you're like, are you okay personally?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I'm arguing with my son now. It's been a really rough morning.
I'm an empath, though. I felt it. I knew you were off, and I just want to make sure you're good.
I was off for about an hour. You saw it. And to me and my son, because my son was fighting with his mother, fighting with his brother. I'm just trying to calm it down. Like, I don't want my wife upset. And, it's a fucking crazy morning, and you just happen to land at the foot of it.
I know.
And I'm sitting there. I'm like, I got to get my game face on. You're here at 7:30, like you said you'd be. I'm walking outside. I'm like, just give me 5 minutes.
Right.
I came back in, but you was probably the most honest, sincere thing someone's truthfully said in a while. Like, just, yo, dude, are you okay? I didn't think I was acting that off, but I guess I was.
Yeah, you could tell because, well, you see your energy. You're traditionally online. And mind you, I only met you once in Marco.
Yeah.
But you were in the moment at that moment. Oh my God, you had Gary V around you and Brad Lee and Tommy and this guy and that guy. So you're on. So I sense you were off. But doesn't you quickly bounced back. You got right into business, and not only that, you invited me into your home, went into your sauna, worked out, and doing push-ups and stuff. I was doing the rope downstairs in his kid's wrestling room, which is incredible, by the way. Well done as a dad putting that together. And then, go into your ice bath, man. That, to me, that means more than anything. And I told you, Marco Allen, I don't need anything from you. I don't want your money. I just want to help bring you value. So, like I said, it's all about relationships. But to segue back to what the hub was, and I don't even whether you use Angie's List or not, I want it super local, where you can just, so let's say it's hub, thehubnetwork.com.
For Tampa.
You go in, roofing company. It's all going to be video driven. So let's say you're the roofing business owner. It's going to be actually a video directly from you. Hey, this is who I am. This is my company. This is what we do. This is what we believe in. This is what we give back in the community. It's going to be very specific. All your license, all your workman's comp, everything. So our team is going to personally vet these individuals. And if they come from the hub, it's legit. And there's 3 strikes, brother. And I'm going to tell you something pretty cool too. But there's 3 strikes. Screw up 3 times, where it's legit. And it's legit, then you're pulled from that directory. But there's a caveat. This will be the first directory ever, because it's going to be a subscription based, to where the customer can also get stars, just like an Uber review. So was she a Karen? Was he this? Were they rude to your staff? All of that stuff. So we're going to flip it on the other side as well.
So Dimitri's coming out with directory right now. You know that, right?
No, what's going on?
Dimitri?
No, what's going on there?
Dimitri, he's building out a roofing kit contractors also.
Okay.
My thing is this is, it's funny. Someone just reached out to me and said he had a directory bill of and like, being my background was yellowpages.com, obviously, and I grew that and scaled that to 159 million. and I just saw how local search now is taking over.
Yeah.
Now with ChatGPT and Siri,
voice.
I just
everything.
think it's going to be a hard one. And listen, I hope you make it
Yeah.
because I want to see you be successful. You're a really nice guy.
I appreciate it.
I just think the directories are going to get harder and harder.
You're probably right. You're probably right. The only benefit that we have is that hyper local. We have a presence. So if even I'm there, only if I'm only in Tampa, that's a blessing.
Absolutely. And as smart as you are, I built my own agency because you know marketing.
Yep.
You know, let's talk about the building. You build it.
Barndominiums, houses. Yep. Affordable homes.
How are you getting your business there? Are you marketing? Because your social media is strong. I follow you on that now.
If you go on Facebook and type in the contractor, and you'll see this logo here, and me and my business partner. My business partner's name is Nick Holmes. He's 34 years old. Probably one of the smartest kids I've ever met. He's also owns an engineering firm. He owns a drafting firm. He's heavy into politics, which you don't like.
No, I don't like politics.
No, but just a really, really smart guy. And it's all video content. We build our YouTube up, and we build our social media. We built through Facebook. So what we do, and I want your opinion on this too, brother. We literally just go from business to business, and like we're podcasting right now. We'll go hold podcasts in their business, and we'll talk about those other businesses. So we rarely, we'll talk about ourselves and we'll do our video content about ourselves, but lift others. It's all about lifting others. And if you lift, I always said this, I'm sure you've heard this before. I'm not the only one that's ever said this. Talk about others and they will find you fascinating.
I've always said this, hand someone a mic and they'll figure out a way to fucking talk. And this is really, and this is really the truth. And just think about every funeral you ever been to.
Yeah.
Every funeral, the person giving the speech, what's it called at the end?
Eulogy.
The eulogy.
Yeah.
They make it about fucking them. Listen to your next eulogy. How many eyes you hear, how many me's you hear, how many eyes, I, me, and not about the person.
Yep.
Just go watch eulogies.
Yep.
I, me. And I'm like, man, if I ever have to give a eulogy, it's just going to be about that person
100%.
and all the good they did
100%.
because it's really mind-boggling. So for me, I know if I hand people a microphone, they're just going to start spewing.
Yep.
It's just that simple.
Yep.
But just go watch everyone when you see. Think about the next eulogy you're at. Just listen to how many eyes and me's you hear.
My father died in 2020, and he was my mentor. I loved him to death. So I had a great story with. I know I have a different story. A lot of people don't have that where they had a good mentor with their dad, but my dad was a great mentor. And I had an individual speak at my dad's funeral, which I wish I did not have him speak because he literally turned it about him. It was so peculiar to me. Well, so odd.
Because when you hand people a microphone, they make it about them. I mean, most people's lives, I believe that's why most people aren't successful because everything, they're so self-absorbed. Yep. They don't want to feel the pain. They blame other people for their pain. Mm-hmm. They blame, I mean, listen, if I told you how many people blamed me for their problems, I don't even talk to you. Mm-hmm. I'm not even around you anymore. Mm-hmm. How am I your problem?
Mm-hmm. You know what? Something you said before, which was crazy to me. You're talking about your old friend here from high school that you just made a multimillionaire.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't even my friend in high school.
Oh, so you knew each other back then?
No.
I assume, or just went to the same high school?
Just went to the same high school.
Just went to the same high school, right?
Yeah, Chris.
We say his name, Munz. Okay, Munz.
Yeah, Munz.
I think he's an awesome individual. Met him briefly. But you guys were talking about just like your behavior in high school and who you were. Yeah. Brother, here's the deal. It doesn't matter because, and I'm sure you've heard this before as well, some people will only see you for who you were, not for who you're becoming or for who you are now. They're always just going to see you as that character in high school. Trust me, I'm forever the douchebag to some guy in high school. Like, I'm never going to change. Like, that's Regan. He's an ass from high school. It's never going to change. And you'll always have, but who cares? Look, they're not our audience, so who cares?
Oh, I don't worry. Listen, I got nothing. Couch Rock was one of the best things that ever happened to me. Right. That's the truth. Because I got to see how the rich live.
Right.
I got to see what money does.
Right.
Like I said on that podcast when they were interviewing me, I knew I was going to be in jail for life or be a multimillionaire. Right. And that's the truth. I knew there was going to be no in between.
Yeah.
I was going to figure it the fuck out, right?
Right.
Because I saw the way, this kid, Mike Lancelotti, good-looking kid, man. I'll never forget, grew up rich. I'm not saying, I don't know what he's doing today, and I hope he's doing well.
Right.
But, like, he hooked up with every hot girl, man. He did. I mean, I'll be honest with you.
Good for you, Mike Lancelotti.
He did. He did. And he did. And, that money gave him this, because I remember looking at Mike, I'm like, he was good looking. He was, right. But, like, he wasn't, like, a stud. Like, he wasn't, like, a super stud. Like, right. He was just he had the swag. He had that charisma, but he had the money with it. So people, and even the young girls got attracted.
Mom and dad had the money, right?
Mom and dad had money.
Yeah.
But, I just saw that, and then, but I have nothing bad, but I will tell you a funnier story than that is as I got older and I became more successful, I'm not going to say her name, I dated a girl from there, and I could tell she was kind of like, oh, man, like, you're Lance Bachmann. She thought what her friends thought and this and that.
Right.
We didn't wind up working out, but I always wondered, was that part of it? But, then I met someone like Sam Zeitlin, who was my partner, who didn't give a shit what anyone thought of me. And he stood by my side for 10, 11 years. And I tell everyone, if you ever need a great partner, he's one of the best partners you could ever have because he doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks.
That's nice.
And I probably learned a lot of it from him.
Well, you're also in that position of life right now. Now, mind you, we're on completely two financial scales, okay? You're way ahead of me. But I've also put myself in a position in life now where I'm like, I could say that, put you in a position of F off if you don't need anything from anybody. But I don't. You never want to say that, but at the end of the day, it's nice to be in that position.
It's not that I don't need anything from you. What I thought about was this, and after what happened with my brothers, I'm not going to lie to you, it stung, right? Like any normal person would when your best friend in the world, the one wasn't, he was always just a piece of shit.
Yeah, I have one of those.
But the one was my best friend since we were little kids, and he betrays you because of jealousy, tons of being a drunk, whatever it is that he betrayed me for, just whatever it is that he betrayed me for.
Right.
You look at life differently.
Yeah.
Right? No matter what. And then I started thinking, because someone said, think about your funeral. And I'll know exactly where I was and where I was at. And I thought about all the funerals I missed, which I probably shouldn't have. Then I started thinking about my brothers that died, how many people didn't show up. Then I started thinking about, I still go to my brother's graves, which I do. I still go to the cemetery. And I was like, man, like when I die, and my brother Joe had a big impact on me. And I see my nephew Nicky, he struggles. He's doing good now, but I seen that roller coaster fucking ride that kid had to take when his dad died.
Right.
Because he loved his dad so much. His dad was his hero.
I get it.
And I'm like, fuck, man. The only people that, and my sister Janine, you have a few brothers, but my kids, every birthday, every Christmas, every holiday, are going to be the ones that remember me and feel that pain. And now I see my wife going through it with her dad dying. So I just have this thing now. If you ain't going to be at my fucking funeral, I don't give a shit what you think. And it's not that I don't need you or not.
Right.
It's just you're probably not going to be at my funeral. I don't care. And I just live my life like that now. So
that's powerful.
When you asked me that question today about haters on social media, because you were like, how does it not get to you? Like you were,
of course, 100%.
Like,
I was being sincere. We were literally sitting by the ice bath talking about it.
And I was like, I don't even look.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do you mean you don't look? I'm like, I don't look.
Yeah.
Jacob, Neary, do I ever look? These guys got to come to me and say these people said shit. I'm like, okay. And I sometimes like if I go LOL. If you ever see the LOL to a comment,
definitely
you know it's me.
That's awesome.
And Kyra's like, don't do that, Lance. I'm like, fuck them. You know what I mean?
Good advice. Good advice. I like the LOL though too. So,
but
that's your next tattoo.
I
just take a picture. And put it in text.
But why do I care what you're saying? And you're funny because you were like, yo, dude, I could tell you from the comments what people said. Now I'm here.
Yeah.
You are who you say you
100%.
are. It's legit. Like
100%.
And I'm like, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And then I just pulled out my phone to you, and I showed you.
Oh, yeah.
I showed you.
You did.
Over 8 figures being put into my account.
You certainly did.
Just on Friday by text message. I didn't even, like, my sister had to send it to me because I was coaching.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is how much I give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not
That's
showing
what
you
I'm saying. You're in that position of, what you say really is irrelevant. Other people, you know what I mean?
But, that has nothing to do with the money. It has to do with, you're not going to be at my funeral.
Dude, look what you've done. At the end of the day, look what you've done. Look what you've accomplished. So the guy that's, in an RV somewhere or whatever talking about you, you're really not going to care about.
But even if President Trump went out and started talking shit about me, I'd be like, so what? You're not going to be at my funeral, dude.
Okay.
And I mean that. It's on my heart.
That's
like,
impactful.
If President Trump, say Elon Musk, who I have the utmost respect for, the guy still gets up and goes to work. Like, imagine this. People don't get up and go to work, right? Yeah. And this dude is, and he's the richest guy in the world.
It's true.
And he goes to work like he's the poorest dude in the world every day.
There. Yeah.
So, like, this guy's doing it, and you're broke, but you're not, right? So, like, but if he said something about me, I wouldn't care because he's not coming to my funeral. If my wife said something to me, my sister Janine, my brother Greg, all right, that's going to hurt.
Right.
My sister Jolynn, a few of my close friends, right?
Makes sense.
Like, Bill Rozelle said something to me, it would hurt. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I got to figure this out.
Right.
But not,
Right.
I think people want to be accepted, and you can't be accepted. I think people want to be liked, and you're not going to be liked.
100%. I have a long time ago when I used to work for the Man still, one of the most impactful things, his name was Rich Allen, said to me, he's like, Reagan, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And I felt like I was supposed to be a people pleaser. I felt like I was supposed to be like a good host. Like, oh, you have to like me. And then if you didn't like me, why don't you like me? Like, what did I do? It doesn't matter. You're going to either read me or read you wrong, or that's who we just are. They don't like it. It is what it is.
What's funny, it doesn't matter because like JT Fox will tell you, and JT Fox is,
he doesn't give a shit at all.
But he'll tell you he showed up to my house and he got the same exact experience as you. He showed up. I came outside, said, where you at?
Yeah.
Because he showed up, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say they're coming. How many people say they're coming? I'm coming.
Smoke and mirrors, man.
So I'm like, sure, Joe Lease will get you there. Kairos, they'll tell you where to be.
Yeah.
They know where I'm at all the time. Like,
Yeah.
it's not hard to figure out, right? I come out, he's there. Workout, ice bath, steam.
Yeah.
You want a protein shake?
Yeah.
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 All right, we're driving to the office now.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk through, you had eggs.
Yeah.
Like it's not. So it didn't matter that he's JT Fox,
Right.
and everyone gets the same experience from me.
Yeah.
And that's where
awesome.
my point to you is. It's not because I have the money. It's because until I get to know you and I feel like you're at my funeral.
Right.
Right. It's just. And I think if just one day, just lay in bed, close your eyes, and think about your funeral, and I guarantee you, it's gonna just change. Like, you're going to fucking wake up crying and be like, man, I just want to be a better human being to my children and to my wife. Because the rest of this shit.
Relevant.
No, but think about this.
Yeah.
We're talking about material stuff today, right?
Yeah.
We're just bullshitting. Two dudes. And I said, I never had a material thing ever make me happy.
That's true. Let me ask you a question. What is happiness to you?
Well, that's a tough question to answer, right? The only time I'm happy is when I'm with my wife and kids.
That's a great answer.
And winning at work.
That's a great answer.
I mean, if you want me to be honest, like the only time I'm happy is when I'm with my wife and kids.
Yeah.
And then second to that is building businesses.
20 years ago, how would you have answered that question? What is happiness to you?
Friday night, drunk at a bar, bringing the hottest girl home, having fun, being an idiot. Not realizing I'm adding no value to anyone's life. Not my own, not hers, not my friends. 23-year-old kid asked me what would I do when I was 23 years old. I said the first thing I would do was fire all my friends. And that don't make them bad people. Like, they're great people. Like, I have the utmost respect for these guys. They're a fun time. Who the fuck doesn't want to have a fun time? No, I mean that. Like,
I get it.
No, like,
I get
come
it.
on, dude. Like, who doesn't want to have a fun time?
Yeah.
But, like, a fun time really doesn't get you.
Gets us a fun time.
It's a fun time.
I guess it's a fun time. So I answered. So the answer where that question came from. So when I was 23, and I was working for a company called Lexington Homes when I started my career, which was a builder, and they're long gone now. And Pat DiGregorio, God rest his soul, that was his question to me at 23. So I'll never forget. I was sitting in the model. So remember the model houses is sitting there babysitting on the weekend. And he came in. I think he saw me and thought, he's like, "Let me ask you a question. What's happiness to you?" New York guy talking real deep. I said, "I don't know, Pat. Like money, power, women. Like, that was that same shit, brother. Same shit. But now all these years later, it's enough money to take care of my children, enough power to protect them, right? Like it's the same answer but different. Except the women in my life are my three daughters and my wife, right?
Yeah.
So I that's why I say I love that about you. A lot of the stuff you say, I'm like, this dude, me are going to be best buddies because we say the same stuff.
Listen, you saw the only thing that gives me, if I had any anxiety in any of these business meetings, any stress, have I had any doubt, but you saw me this morning with my sons.
Yeah, different person. Person. I
I
saw the different person.
My sons bring out the anxiety.
Yeah.
But my wife brings out my
Yeah, but they're
anxiety.
your pride and joy.
Because you want to make them happy.
your legacy.
You want to make, that's it. So, like, that gives me the highest anxiety. But business is easy. Like, it sounds crazy. It's just easy. It's business.
Do your kids know what you do? They still trying to figure it out?
My son LJ's starting to figure it out because as things grow, my brand grow, more people are stopping me through airports or hotels or conferences or wherever I go, people are starting. So he's starting to understand, like, okay, what's going on with that here? Like, because remember, he only knows what he knows.
Right.
My son Hammer's clueless, and my son Dave are just
Still
clueless.
young.
My older son knows. I have a 34-year-old son. He knows he wants to forge his own path.
Good. Nothing wrong with that.
Listen, I think it is wrong. That's where I disagree. I think it
Really?
is. You see, what people don't realize is, and this is where I'll shoot you straight. The whole bravado of saying you're a self-made fucking man is bullshit, right? If my father was any type of man, he'd have made sure I never had to say those words. And that's what most people don't realize is, in the history of all the Bachmans, they've all been poor, abused, alcoholics, drug addicts. No one ever said, I'm going to fucking change this, right? All Bachman boys have been in jail. Every one of them. Even the ones that act like they weren't. My brother's Fred, my brother Adam. They were in fucking jail. They want to act like they weren't.
Right.
They act like they're prima donnas. They were. And it was my father's job. It was his duty to protect us and take care of us or don't have children. Right?
Yeah.
So my job is to set up my sons and take care of my sons, protect my sons. Listen, when people say, I'm not going to buy my kids their house, and I'm not, fuck that. I'm buying all my children their house. They already have houses.
Your mannerisms, when Munn said that in your last podcast, it was all over your face. You were trying not to say, what the fuck? Yeah.
But what am I doing this for?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, I like my GMC Denali pickup truck way better than I like my fucking G-Wagon.
Right.
And people were in awe with the G-Wagon. Like, oh, my God. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It drives like a Jeep. My wife's
it's something
Jeep.
they can't attain.
I know, but buying a material thing will never make you happy.
I agree.
Like, when I bought that G-Wagon, I didn't drive off the lot like, well, I'm happy.
It was
True
instant
story.
gratification, or maybe
No.
was maybe a minute, like,
No,
okay,
it was
cool,
like-
this is cool.
It was my wife's favorite car. I got
Well,
it.
then
I
there,
don't,
it's for
and I don't
her.
even think my wife even likes it because she doesn't
Oh,
drive it.
geez.
She drives her Jeep that I bought her when she had a stroke that reminds her of a Jeep
Oh,
she grew up
geez.
in. So, like, my point is this: is like your children are the ones you're doing all this for. And yes, I want to set my children up, and I believe my dad should have done that for me. I believe my dad should have done that for me, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm not an entitled guy because listen, the only reason I talk about money the way I do, I'm not afraid to say it, is because no one's ever given me anything.
Right.
Only one guy ever gave me money my whole entire life, besides my brother Joe and
Right.
my older brothers that would try and help me out here and there. My sister Jean gave me a home to live in. When I got out of prison, I'll always be grateful for her. I'll put my life down for her. I love her. She's like my mother.
Right.
Sam Zeitlin gave me money when I owned one SEO to buy into it
Right.
on a handshake. And that helped, that changed the trajectory of my life.
Nice.
It did, for sure. Gave me more confidence.
Right.
So like every step and piece, but besides Sam Zeitlin, everybody's taken from this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is taken.
Yeah.
So I'm not afraid to speak about money, and that's why I don't lend people money, because every time I lend someone money, I don't get it back. I'm like, it's a charitable donation.
Yeah.
So, no, I think, Regan, I think, to answer your question, to talk to you about, should you set your kids up? Yes. Why wouldn't you? Why do I want things difficult for my children?
I agree.
I think wrestling, playing football gives them enough of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my kids to have do you want your daughters to have your life?
No. The one I had, no. No, I'm with you.
I mean, like, why would you want people to have that pain and suffering?
I don't.
I mean, and no matter what anyone says, you answer the question, like, are you happy? Like, I'm like trying to think to myself, like, think about this. Every goal you ever hit, were you happy?
Not every goal.
I've never hit one and was happy.
Fair enough.
I've never hit a goal and said, today I'm happy.
Content?
No.
So you're never at peace, you're never content, and that's why you continue to keep going.
I think if people were being honest, most people that keep going are saying, fuck this, I'm going to just keep going and going because I want to win so bad. And what
Right.
winning looks like, no one truly knows.
Right.
But you just keep building. You can't spend them. I physically, in my lifetime, cannot spend the
You're not
money I
going to
have.
spend what you have, I know.
It's physically impossible.
Right.
I'd have to become a drug. Like,
Right.
the fact that Mike Tyson spent the money he did. Now, I'm not being rude. Like, I see a guy like Mike Tyson spend the money. I'm like, how the? That's more money than I.
He was robbed. He was robbed, though.
Yeah, he was robbed.
He was
Like,
robbed. Yeah.
there's no way you can spend
Yeah.
$250 million. It is impossible.
I hear you. before we end this, because I know you're ending it soon because we're almost there. In regards to time running out, is that why you have drive? Because I will tell you really quick, that's why I have drive, because I know I do what I do because I know the time's coming where I no longer can do it. And I mean the physicality part of it. One of the biggest things that scared me when my father died at 85, but at 83 years old, he said, son, I have all these great ideas. I wake up in the middle of the night and then I realize I'm 83 years old. Go back to bed. That terrified the shit out of me.
I think if you want the best ideals that never came to fruition, go walk around the cemetery. All the dreamers, all the idealist people that never did anything, go walk around the cemetery. No, I think I do what I do. If I had to be transparent with you, I think the demons of our past will stay the demons in your mind. I don't believe what anyone says. I don't believe you can heal what truly happened, right? So I work and I enjoy it, and it's positive and it's nothing negative. I'm making people into millionaires, as you saw today, right? But no one was celebrating. Nobody was high-fiving. It was just, you would have thought no one became a millionaire, yes or no?
No, absolutely
it's just pure
not.
business, right?
Absolutely not. Business as usual.
Business as usual. And I think that other people understand that's my standard, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I think it keeps me from drinking. Not that I'm an alcoholic, but I never did drugs, so that's off the table. But it keeps me from drinking. It stops me from womanizing. It stops me from doing dumb shit. Idle hand is the devil's workshop, right? Like, so, and I'm having fun. It's not like I'm miserable.
No.
Have I looked miserable all day?
Not at all.
Right? Like,
not at all.
And so that's why I do it. And now I'll work to the day I die. I will work to the day I die. Like, that's a fact. Like,
Thanks.
What else would I do? What will you do if you were? I'm just kind of curious. What would you do?
I go crazy. Silence drives me nuts.
Well, you think about this. You had $20 million laying in your bank account tomorrow. 30, whatever that number is. What do you do?
What my drive would be continuing the organization of Hub Life Charities and helping other people. I probably would never stop.
I ask people, like, what?
I would never stop.
People are like, oh, I would go do this. I'd go do this. Okay, well.
And then what? After your vacation, after Belize, after friggin' wherever you go, after Dubai, then what? You're done. I've seen it. And we'll be back to square one at home where we live with our family.
I once saw a funny meme that said, we're going on our dream vacation, but 10 minutes ago as we were packing the car, we were filing for divorce. And it's a joke because if you think about it, like, if you spend too much time with anyone, you're going to fight. But they're going on their dream vacation, but 10 minutes ago they're filing for, like, it's a joke, like packing a fucking car. Because they were fighting.
I get it.
Like, and that's just, like, life. I mean, I don't know. I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. I hope you do.
I do.
And I wish you nothing but success. I appreciate you coming in here.
I appreciate your time.
And if you're looking for a CMO, does it part-time, he can help you grow your business. And it seems like you have the grassroots thing down packed, which is, you're not selling dog shit like everyone else. These digital agencies, half of them.
Nope. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Absolutely.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Service Titan and Rilla, our technology of choice to helping us scale and grow our business and making sure all of our viewers have the technology to scale their business so when they want to sell it, they're able to.